Hi everyone, this is Yunus, and in this video we're going to cover the topic of classes in C++. So the idea of classes and the object-oriented programming is something that blew my mind when I first learned about it, and I can describe it as the way of thinking about the problem when you code. So in the regular procedural code, you write the problem top-down with functions and everything, but in the object-oriented programming, you think of a problem as a combination of many separate objects, and in the end you combine them. So to create a class in C++, you have to write class and then you have to give it a name. In this program, let's create a class of soccer players. So we're gonna say soccer player. And what does each soccer player has? Well, before going that, let me describe. There's two parts in classes. It's a private part and a public part. So the difference between private and public is that the class itself is a separate entity, and when we write a code, we cannot access the stuff that we write in the private directly from the main. But if we write something in the public, we can access that from the main function. Usually, that's the idea of encapsulation, but we'll cover that in some other lessons. So what each soccer player has, well, let's think about it. Maybe they have, let's say you're making a game, and let's say each soccer player has speed, they can have agility, and maybe they can have accuracy. That's their stats, right? And in the public function, the thing that we're going to do first, we're going to create a constructor for our soccer player class. So the constructor gets called every time when we initialize the new class object. So to create a constructor, you have to write the name of the class, and in our constructor we're gonna pass three variables: integer speed, it's gonna be s, agility, and integer accuracy. And what I want now, I want every time when I create a new soccer player, I want their stats to be updated right away. So I'm gonna set these equal to each other. And before we make it more complex, let's create the soccer player in our main function. So to create an instance of the class, you have to write the name of the class. Then soccer player is the class, it doesn't exist, it's just a scheme. To create the object itself, you have to give it a name. So let's say our first soccer player is gonna be Ronaldo, maybe Ronaldo, right? And right when we give it a name, we have to put the parentheses, and that parentheses is our constructor. So we're gonna pass three integers into that constructor. So let's say his speed is 90. Well, I don't even know what those numbers are in units are, but let's say 90, then 98, and let's say his accuracy is 85. So if we build and run this, it's not going to display anything yet, but it will create an instance of the class, and that object will be called Ronaldo. Then maybe we can create a second player and call it Messi. And let's say the Messi speed is gonna be 95. His agility is 95 as well. Well, let's give it some 92. And let's say his accuracy is 89. So see, right here I have two objects. They have the same stuff inside of them. However, each of them will have the different stats inside of them. So the the class itself acts as like a blueprint for the object. So what else do these soccer players have in common? Well, let's say they can shoot a ball, right? Penalties, maybe. Let's create a shoot ball function, and let's do this. Let's say hashtag include, oh, let's say this, hashtag include C time and hashtag include C standard library. So I'm writing this because I want to create a random number generator, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna make these two soccer players shoot a ball, maybe do a penalty, and the things like each of them have different accuracy. So we're gonna see which one will score a goal. So let's create a random number. We're gonna seed the random number generator. So it's gonna be null. So inside of this function, let's say this: if the random number that is between 100 and 0 is less than or equal to the player's accuracy, that means they got a goal, and we're gonna display goal. Otherwise, we're gonna display missed. And let's add another variable to here, and it's gonna be string. So we're gonna add string name, and let's pass that into our constructor as well. And when we create our objects, we're gonna pass their names as well. So let's see if we have any errors. It's pretty good. And let's display the name of the player. Name. Scored a goal. Or name missed. And so we have this function inside of the class called soccer player. To use this function is part of the class, so we can't just call that function in the main like shoot ball. We cannot do that because it's part of the class. Well, what we can do, let's loop 5 times less than 5 plus plus. And let's say each soccer player will hit a ball, and each one will hit the ball 5 times. So to call the shoot ball function, what we have to do, let's say Ronaldo hits first. So you write the name of the class, Ronaldo, then you add dot. Then now you can call shoot ball function. Then let's say Messi hits the second. So Messi dot shoot ball. And let's say I get char to stop it every time. So let's run. Well, let's remove that actually. Alright, let's run this and see what will happen. Well, the thing that I forgot in our constructor, what we have to do, we're gonna do that name. We have to assign name. We forgot to do that. And let's actually reduce their accuracy. Let's say he has 65% of chance of hitting the ball, and Messi has 70. let's build and run this. So as we can see, each of the player hits the ball 5 times. So Ronaldo missed his first 3, but then he got the last 2. And Messi got the first 2, missed the 3rd one, and got the last 2. So, and as you can see in the stats, Messi has 70% chance of hitting the ball, getting the goal. And in the program we can see that the Messi got more goals than Ronaldo. So this is like a kind of a basic explanation of the class, and I'll try to make another video with more in-depth explanation of the class. But as for now, thank you for watching.